XconMedia.
Welcome to XconMedia. Appreciate you tapping in. Well, we got a collaboration with From Setbacks to Success. Let me put some let me put emphasis on that. World champion.
World champions.
World champion.
Yes.
Well, congratulations.
For sure. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, man. This OKC getting the chip was a huge win.
That was
caught a huge break. Unfortunately, when the young man Tyrese Halliburton went down, as most of y'all know who watched the game, that was a definitely a break in our direction. But as most people I talk to about it, like that's just part of the game, man. You gotta
be there. Your best availability is, your best asset is availability. And if he couldn't make it through the game, that's not y'all problem. You know what I'm saying? I would take it just like that. You know what I'm saying? Win, you know what I'm saying? That's why you gotta play all the way through the season. You know what I'm saying? And that includes all the way through game 7.
Man, so what a season that was for the OKC Thunder. What a NBA Finals that was. I love game 7s come down to the wire, regardless which way it goes. If you're a basketball fan, that was definitely one to really enjoy. And so it was definitely huge, big time. So the city's lit, man. It's real lit. It's on fire. It's been on fire. If you haven't seen on social media yet, the posts, have you been checking in, seeing some of the stuff they've been showing from the parade?
Listen, it's something to celebrate because I know when the Braves won in 2021 and the Bulldogs won back-to-back years. Look, man, this ATL, we turning the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? And we win the chip. So hey, you supposed to do, a lot of folks don't even know it's black people in Oklahoma, man. But hey, I'm pretty sure that even people in Tulsa, Jinx, Muskogee, Broken Arrow, give me some cities. Hey, them folks out there celebrating too. That's for the whole
total, all over the place. Yeah, they came, they turned up, showed out, man, and they said it was estimated 600,000 to 700,000 people. 600,000 is the last number that I got. People who showed up for the parade, man. The whole city of Oklahoma City got 700,000 people, so it was people from all over the state there. Just man, it was crazy, man. Crazy. One of the interesting things, real quick, man, they said that the noise, because the arena that the Thunder play in is called Paycom, so it seats about 20,000 people. So they said the parade though was so loud, like, and again, 600,000. That's 30 times as many folks that you would find inside. And the noise was unbelievable. But we got some clips, man. We're gonna run and show the audience, so that if you haven't checked it out.
Let me see what's going on. No music in them, no, right? Ain't no music in them, no. They'll
flag that and send it on out, huh?
Yeah, they'll do it. I'm scared of any type of music. Woo. Yeah.
Holla at me if you hear something.
That's big. That's big, man. As a former resident of Tulsa, I lived in Tulsa for a year or two, you know what I'm saying, as a teenager, man. So I have relatives in OKC, so I know they down there tearing it up.
For sure. But here's one of the clips, man. On SGA. Let's run this.
All right.
For sure.
I'm gonna take the sound out because that's music. Yeah, that boy there deserve it though. He deserved that, man. He played his ass off the entire year.
Yeah.
So he deserved that.
Yeah, man. I definitely like that clip there, man. For me, that's really a young man really just owning the moment, man, grabbing the phone from the fans, really knowing, being interacting with the people. And I thought that was just what's up, man. But yeah, that was one clip, man. Here's another one. Here's Shay turning up again. This one went viral
Okay.
all over the internet, all over. Yeah, this one was a big one here. Where is Shay? Here's another one.
Oh, he out there in the street with the people.
With the people, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he turned up.
I don't
Yeah,
know if you can hear that noise, but
they
listen to this, man.
screaming. They can't believe he there. He running down the street with the title. Yeah, I ain't
Yeah,
seen that one. Yeah, that's dope there, man. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
that's
yeah.
dope for sure, man.
And here's one more, man. This is another one. Yeah. So anyway, I
Y'all,
pulled those.
y'all already had the parade.
Yeah, I already had the parade. That was on Tuesday. So yeah, it was a huge event. Everything downtown pretty much shut down for
Mm,
pretty much the whole day.
right,
And you had people showing up 1 o'clock in the morning just to get positioned down there. It was
right.
wild, man. It was wild moment for the state of
Oh
Oklahoma.
wow.
Wild lit
And
moment for
Oklahoma not
OKC.
no small town, man. It may not have the people like a
Yeah,
major city, but land wise, Oklahoma City is big as hell, man.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
one of the top
real big.
three
Yeah.
cities land wise. I want to say Houston, Jacksonville might be part of the top three, but OKC is right up there. And
Hmm.
this city is growing. It is growing. It it hasn't had one of those moments like the A had back when the Olympics dropped, or even Freaknik for some people that
Hmm.
just brought everybody up in that piece. But yeah, it's really grown quite a bit, man. It's a whole city vibe here. Again, may not be, it's not a LA or ATL or Houston or anything like that, but
Hmm.
it's a city vibe here. And this was just, for a lot of people, kind of further confirmation. Yeah, OKC is a real city now, man. It's on the map for
Oh
sure.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, look, man. People just don't understand, man. OKC, it be going down like they banging and everything up there. Yes, it's a lot of black people in Oklahoma City. I don't want people to think, you know what I'm saying, but it's popping though. They got casinos around there, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Soon as you cross the state line out of Texas, boom,
that's right.
casino. You know what I'm saying? Casino right there on the left, like you got stuff that we wish we had
Yeah,
casinos. Anytime we want to go to a casino, we had to cross the state line, go to Alabama, but Alabama only got the slot machines, you know what I'm saying?
right, right, right,
Sometimes I ride all the way to Arkansas, West Memphis, you know what I'm saying? Southland Park in the building,
right.
then lost bands at Southland Park, you know what I'm saying? Uh, then you got a couple in North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? It's two in North Carolina. They back maybe 3 hours away, but it
That's
ain't
right.
nothing like walking right out your house, driving 2 or 3 miles, and going to play you some blackjack. And y'all got
Yeah,
that.
man.
You know what I'm
Got
saying? Y'all
that.
y'all
Yeah.
got it like that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I
Yeah,
will say y'all, but yeah, y'all definitely, state of Oklahoma is obviously something that the tribes here, that's their play. That's their biggest play
right.
here in the state, man. That's in a lot of ways put them back on the map in a lot of regards. So yeah, the casinos are here, man, and they're big, man. That one right there, you're talking about Windstar on the Texas Oklahoma
Big,
border. Yeah,
big.
really.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and it was crazy because when they first built that, I was like, "Why are they?" Because they said at the time they built it, it was the second largest casino in the world. I'm like, "Why are they building the second largest casino in the world in
Look,
Oklahoma?" But
look where they put it at. All of the
yeah,
Texas traffic coming up that highway to cross that state line to go to that. So yeah, that was
yeah,
strategic. That was
strategic.
true. You know what I'm saying?
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And it's been
but
a whole play since then for sure. Every time I pull up, you get Texas license plates everywhere,
yeah,
everywhere in West Star. So
yeah,
yeah.
man. Yeah, big. Yeah. So
Mhm.
yeah, that was yeah, I was checking the game and what I did. I texted you soon as he went down, it's over.
Yeah.
There's no way that Indiana was gonna be able to hold on. You know what I'm saying? At,
Mhm.
at one point, they had the I don't even know the little white guy name, but he scored like 12 in a row. I'm like,
TJ McConnell, boy, he was giving them the business
oh
there for a
man,
minute, man.
he look, boy, hey boy, everything was ugly leaving his hand, and it was hitting nothing but the bottom of the net. But he
Bottom
wasn't
of the net.
look,
Boy,
he
you
wasn't
said
no big.
that right.
I'm talking about he falling, throwing up, underhand scoop, throwing it up with two hands, underhanded, everything, bottom of the net.
Yeah, right. Bottom of the
Yeah,
net.
but he
Yeah.
needed 40 though, because that was the only way he was going to win. That was the only
TJ
way he was
McConnell for
going to win.
40.
Yeah, yeah, he had
Yeah,
to go
yeah.
40, man. That
That
was
was
it right
that's what I was thinking. I was like,
there.
this feels, it feels ugly, man, seeing him just get all the buckets like that. But
Yeah, right.
yeah, boy, he gonna have to have the game of a lifetime tonight, man. I'll go
Hey,
ahead and take the odds, man.
he was gonna have to turn into Larry Bird because that was the only way it was going down. Yeah. He couldn't do. I mean, he scored like I think at one point he had like 12 points in a row, but nobody else was doing nothing. And I don't even
Right.
think, but Halliburton was burning them nets up. He hit three threes before he went down. Like
Boy.
he was on, but when he got that push off and he fell to the ground, I said, "Oh,
Oop.
that's it. That's a
There it
wrap."
is.
Yeah,
That's a
he
wrap.
not coming back. That Achilles boy, that
Yeah.
shut everything down.
Yeah.
And of
Yeah.
course,
Yeah.
we down here know about that Achilles injury because we went and signed Kirk Cousins with an
Yep.
Achilles injury. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And you just that type of injury is so bad. The fact that he caught it in the finals, he gonna
Yeah.
be out all the next year. He not even
Yeah.
playing this year. He may
I
not even come back the
yeah.
same, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I was watching a podcast with KD talking about when his Achilles popped there at Golden
Mhm,
State. And the
mhm,
way that he described it, he said that arena, 30, 40,000 people in the arena at
mhm,
Oracle, loud as all get up. And he
mhm.
said he that Achilles, when he tore that Achilles, he said he heard the pop. He heard the pop out of all that noise. And I said, wow,
Crazy. That's
that's a
crazy.
serious injury there. So yeah, man. So
Speaking of
hopefully,
KD,
yeah.
speaking of KD, this is
What's up?
validation for the city, man. Because it's like you had three Hall of Famers come through there, bona fide first ballot Hall of Famers. They was even on the same team together.
Yeah,
OKC did not even know that James Harden was who he was. You
that's
know what I'm
right.
saying? Traded him away. He went to Houston and
That's right.
became a Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? So they
Yeah.
had them three together, man, and they never even got close, man. And shit, just out of nowhere, they done built them up. They've been working on their little team. Hey,
Uh-huh.
matter of fact, y'all picked up a nice little piece last night. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to be in
Yeah.
a ship and
Yeah.
then make a pickup like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he made a nice little addition. He
That's right.
he was one of my probably like top three in the draft. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right. That's right.
And that
Yeah.
was a nice addition. They
Nice
stole one
addition.
there.
That's
Yeah,
right.
man.
That's right. But
So
going back to KD, man, I ran across this clip, man, on KD and his. I guess this has something to do with his legacy here in OKC. But
okay.
let's run this. Tell me what you think on this one.
Highly doubt I get a statue of me put anywhere for playing basketball. Um, I appreciate the love though and the respect that people show me. That's enough for me.
we're definitely get. I see what you're doing. You don't want a Dwayne Wade looking statue. I wouldn't.
No, I just don't really think. No, see, Dwayne Wade's a different case, man. He is Miami. He is the Heat, So like, it's a different case with him. It's very few players that get that type of love in a city like that. So and it's usually those guys who got the Hall of Fame career with the championships, and you've been with one city for a long time. That's not the case for me, but I can see it for a couple other guys in the league.
You got the 2 first down, of course. Dwayne Wade said you're next. Did you hear that?
I seen that. I seen that yesterday. I disagree with D Wade, but I appreciate him put me in that category with 2 other guys who probably will get statues in cities that they played in.
So technically, he right. Yeah, I mean, he was good in Oklahoma City, but after he left OKC, he became a D rider. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's basically what he did.
Yeah,
okay. With your city, you could have stayed there and made it happen. Why you don't bring people to you to play with you? You had to go. Would he follow Steph? What was his first ring?
With that was Golden State. Yeah, the first 2. Yeah, that's the only 2. Yeah.
Right. You had to go ride with Steph Curry to get that ring.
Yeah.
So that kind of diminished. Is he a Hall of Famer? Absolutely. First ballot. He can lead a game today. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got to shoot another bucket. He's the first rounder. He got his rings and everything. But get what? People came to LeBron.
Yeah.
People came to Michael Jordan.
That's right.
People came to Shaq. People came to Kobe. You know what I'm saying? KD, he's in that tier of player.
That's right.
But get what? People came to Steph Curry. But get what? He went to them.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's part of his legacy. And I will say,
part of his legacy.
Yeah, because KD did have the keys to this whole state, not just the city. They actually inducted him into the Oklahoma Hall of Fame before he left. So his career had just, essentially, wasn't over at that point.
Right.
So this was his city. This was his state, period. And he did walk away from it. But at the end of the day,
used to be. See, now it's a new king now. Yeah. Kevin Durant would not get a statue before SGA get one. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's right.
There's no way. Regardless of what they say, KD better than him or whatever. So what?
Yeah.
SGA did what Kevin Durant could not do, and that's bring that chip to the city. You know
that was part of one of my questions to you was, is SGA really that dude? Do you believe?
What?
Yeah.
Watch your mouth. How dare thee? How dare thee? Yeah, is he that dude? Come on, man. The man, did he lead in scoring? He got the MVP, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Did he get the MVP?
Yep. He got the MVP, regular season MVP for the finals.
Stop playing.
First chip in OKC.
Stop playing. Did KD do that anywhere? Did he do that anywhere?
Right.
With anybody?
Yeah.
Nah, he didn't.
Yeah.
So SGA is the new king of OKC for sure.
Yeah.
He'll never pay for another meal in the state of Oklahoma ever again.
Ever again in life. Yeah. Right. He's really that dude, man. I was just throwing that out there. I didn't have this clip pulled up, but there's a clip of him after the game 7, going to the locker room of the Pacers and checking on Tyrese just to make sure he was good.
Right.
And there's a clip I'm gonna play with you for you.
Before you play that clip, I just have to say Mike wouldn't have never did that. Magic, you know what I'm saying? Isaiah, them Dennis Rodman, them folks back then. Larry Bird, boy, he went down. F him. Don't care nothing about him. Yeah, get him out of our stadium. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no friend. Them boys wasn't friends at all. Right.
I want to come back to that because I want to get your opinion on how you think is this the softening of the league? But here's Draymond Green on his podcast talking about it, and I like Draymond Green's podcast. Actually, I like him better on hearing his thoughts about basketball but I'll talk about that after this clip too.
See,
Okay.
he has some special talent. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is one of the best players in the league, and I don't think there's anyone that you can find to debate that. Jalen Williams, special.
They probably have the most talent of any team in the league. Those young
Mm-hmm.
dudes are highly skilled basketball players, and they just got to get mean.
The one thing I would say about them is there's a certain readiness when you're ready to win, and I don't care how old you are. The one thing I see with the OKC team that is a little alarming for me is like their post game. 7 guys in the interview. There's a certain seriousness that it takes to win in this league, and there's a certain fear you have to instill in a team in order to win. You should have fun, but you have to understand their moment is now. Their moment started last year. You go out, you had that great regular season, your clock starts now. You're no longer the team that's just building through the draft. You've arrived.
Okay, so this was clearly what he said before Game 7, and he basically was saying, and him and BD and Baron Davis, and I really, again, man, I like their podcast. I hopefully one day we could get one of those brothers on our show as well, because I'm going to be shooting at them here after this one. But
for sure, yeah, I like that. Baron Davis is probably, I got to put him at my favorite point guard of all time. Like that dude there was a monster.
Was a beast.
People wouldn't even understand. He don't even get the credit that he should. But yeah, brother, let me tell you something. I knew he was a monster when he dunked on Kurolenko in the let me tell you, listen, I was in the joint then, right? He dunked on Kurolenko. You know how ESPN have the top 10?
Yeah, top 10 plays. Yeah.
Baron Davis was 7 of the highlights. They kept showing them from different angles. That's how nasty that dunk was. I've never seen them do that with anybody else.
Yeah.
I've never seen that. That dunk was nasty. And I think they did beat I think Golden State was the underdogs then. They beat Utah, and Kurolenko was one of the premier shot blockers in the league, and he never got a facial like that. But that's a little off topic. But yeah.
No, you good. And again, man, shout out to BD. Shout out, like I said, Draymond here, being an OKC fan, was an arch nemesis for a long time. And you know, a lot of people.
Dog. I love Draymond.
Dog.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but again, I like his basketball mind, and I like to see. I didn't even know how I only saw him as a basketball player. I never really was able to hear his thoughts about life and basketball and things of that nature. So I really like his podcast. Is making me appreciate him even further, because he's a competitor for sure.
Because I never seen it. Yeah, I didn't even know he had a podcast. But I'm gonna definitely check him out, because I love his basketball mind. So and the type of player he is. Like if I was in the league, that would be me right there. Yeah,
but he is getting some heat about this comment about that you got to be mean to win, especially in a finals. Do you agree with that statement or not?
No, I agree. No, excuse me. I do agree with that statement, right? Listen, man, Draymond Green got how many rings? He got 4 of them, huh?
That's right.
He know the formula then. He know the formula to do what it takes. He is the Dennis Rodman of this era. You know what I'm saying? Draymond Green is a dog. He gonna kick, throw you around. He gonna push you around. He a dog. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with him. You get all the way to the end, and Draymond Green gonna take you over the top. You know what I'm saying? With everything. He's the what they call him. I would say what's that word I'm looking for? When you got the one person that do everything, all the dirty work.
The Swiss Army knife.
Yeah. But I was looking for something else.
Okay.
But
and it's 4.
And
they got 4 chips. They got 4 chips. I'll just to be correct on that statement. So
absolutely. Like, why in the world would anybody downplay? I'm pretty sure that all of the people that's downplaying that statement probably don't have a ring. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They
I was thinking
probably
about
don't.
I was thinking about that statement, and I was thinking about the new state of basketball. And I have to say, I attended a number of Thunder games, and I'm not gonna lie, bro. There was one game I went to, and I know it was just regular season, but I saw for the first time a contactless picks. It was like seeing like synchronized swimming, you know, that sport.
Oh man.
It was the weirdest shit I ever seen, man. It was
Yeah.
like they just put they set a pick, but it was just out of the it was just out doing they were just going through the motions. There was no intention to create contact. The defender, the person who set the pick, it was weird, man. This was after like Steven Adams, after Kendrick Perkins, who them dudes set real picks, man. Actually, Steven
Right.
Adams learned how to set a real hard pick from Perk. And so when I saw that, I was kind of done with the NBA. I was like, man, this is some soft shit here, man. I don't really want to tune in for stuff like that.
Draymond Green is looking for the contact. He the dude that, listen, man, if you walk down a dark alley, you better turn around and go the other way. That's the bottom line. If we're in the alley, me and him on that's the guy I want on my side, man, because he a dog, man. You know what I'm saying? And he do what he got to do.
But I will, I hear what you're saying. I appreciate some, but I have to say, man, I have changed my opinion, man. I do like this brand of basketball where it's not the dirty fouls, it's not the flagrants and just trying to take a dude's head off. I do like it is really high skills based. Like these guys have amazing talents, man, that can do so many things. I mean, just the idea of guys like KD or Chet, they got handles, they can dunk, they play post you up, they can, pull up on the three, take it coast to coast. I mean, Giannis, all these, it's a different level of we're seeing some different things in the game that I do appreciate. And I do like this. I'm starting to like this brand of basketball better, but that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, I get it. But me personally, I like players that can play in any era, right?
Okay.
These soft players can't play in every era. Draymond Green,
he could play in
Baron
any era.
Davis, they could play any era. They could play in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. You know what I'm saying? But these soft players, man, some of these soft players can't play in the late 80s, early 90s when we were teenagers growing up watching basketball. You know what I'm saying? They can't play in that. You know what I'm saying? So I like the that way, because if you get in a dude's head, that's half the win. You know what I'm saying?
Win right there.
That's half the win right there. When Dennis Rodman walk up, slap a nigga on the cheek, he know you don't like it. You know what I'm saying? But what you gonna do about it? What you want to do? Fight about it? You know what I'm saying? What you gonna do? Fight about it? You can't do nothing. So that was the chess portion of you know what I'm saying? It's a chess game.
Yes, yeah.
You know
that's just getting your head game. Yeah.
Right. And see, now is more of a checker game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I might have a better night than you tonight. You know what I'm saying? You might turn around, shoot better than me. I might be off. Back then, it was a chess match on every level back then. So and Draymond Green could definitely play in every era. I mean, matter of fact, the player that he is now, he probably would have been a Jordan type player. He probably would have been averaging 30 points a game back then. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So
yeah. I got you. That's what's up. All right, man. We got another announcement that just dropped. I want to say it was a day or two ago. KD is now, speaking of the Thunder, he's now a Houston Rocket. So I want to run this clip by you and run it with the audience as well. And I want to get your thoughts on this particular content creator's opinion about KD and his career. Let's see here. Let's run this.
About how Kevin Durant has had the messiest NBA career I've ever seen. I mean, talk about a man who likes to explore his options. Welcome to Hoops for Hotties, where I explain what's going on in the basketball world for the girls, the gays, the days, and the straight men who don't admit they're not watching basketball. And boy, do I got a story for you. Kevin Durant has always been talented. He was drafted 2nd overall in the NBA draft in 2007 to the Seattle Supersonics, a team that literally doesn't even exist anymore. A year later, the Seattle Supersonics packed up all their shit, moved to Oklahoma City, and became the Thunder. So technically, KD is the Oklahoma City Thunder's first star ever. This is where our story really starts because the Thunder had some real talent. Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, James Harden. They went to the NBA Finals in 2012 and lost to LeBron and the Miami Heat. You know, a friend group of 3 is always messy. After that, they traded James Harden and it became all about KD and Russ. They loved each other. In the year of our Lord 2016, they blew a 3-1 lead, which means they were 1 game away from going back to the NBA Finals and somehow fumbled that shit. To be fair, their competition none other than the Golden State Warriors. 2 light-skinned niggas and Draymond Green running the world. The most winningest winners there ever have won. KD's like, damn, we were 1 game away from beating those guys. So what does he do? If you can't beat them, join them. Am I right? Thus, a villain era was born. 2 light-skinned niggas, Draymond Green and Kevin Durant, who was just recently an NBA MVP. I mean, this is not fair. But you can't lie, it worked. It was boring. Every year we knew exactly who the NBA champion was going to be. But Kevin Durant was the best player on the team. I mean, he won Finals MVP in 2017 and 2018. They won back-to-back championships. It seemed like the perfect marriage. It's like that couple. Every time they post, it's Birkin bags, vacations, flowers all over the kitchen. But behind the scenes, he got his hot-ass breath in her face. Things were slowly crumbling behind the scenes. Draymond calling KD out. The entire world questioning if KD's rings were fake. KD was so affected by the hate he was getting in Golden State that he was creating burner accounts on Twitter to argue with haters. And just when they thought they could bandage that bullet hole with a 3-peat, 3 championships in a row, Michael Jordan shit, Kevin Durant tears his Achilles and the dream dies. But a meme for the ages lives. This photo of KD in a hospital bed that no one took seriously. The school's 2 biggest delinquents were sitting in detention one day and they looked at each other and they said, we need to prove to the world that we can win a championship without LeBron James and without Steph Curry. So they linked up and KD, the main character of our story, packed up his bags and moved from San Francisco to the East Coast, Brooklyn, New York, and became teammates with his bearded old friend from Oklahoma City once again, James Harden. On paper, it was a super team bound to win a championship. And in real life, it was Kyrie Irving refusing to get vaccinated for COVID and ruining their whole season, and James Harden saying, I'm fucking out of here. KD gave his all in Brooklyn, but it just wasn't enough. And it was time for another change of scenery from the East Coast back to the West with the Phoenix Suns. Another day, another super team. Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, 3 stars joining forces to possibly win a championship. There was no playoff success, not even a little bit. Phoenix looked around their locker room and said, it's time to make a change. Bradley Beal, you're out. But little did they know, Bradley Beal had a special contract where he could tell them, oh, no, I'm not leaving. I have a no trade clause. I'm only leaving when I decide to leave. So they decided if they needed to get rid of somebody, it was going to be Kevin Durant.
Damn.
So she's going in on KD a little bit and says he possibly has the messiest NBA career. We'll just call it out of all current NBA basketball players. My question to you, do you believe Kevin Durant has the messiest career currently out of all NBA players? And even would you even say something like that? I mean, he's got 2 chips, but
he got 2 chips, but look what they had to pay him up with. They didn't come to OKC to play with him. He could not beat them. So he went out there and Jordan. Come on, man. Jordan wasn't having that back then. You know what I'm saying? Larry Bird was not leaving Boston. Magic not leaving the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no teaming up. Elijah Wan stayed in Houston. You know what I'm saying? David Robinson, San Antonio. They didn't move. The stars did not move. Patrick Ewing, New York. You know what I'm saying? Dominique Wilkins, before Atlanta stopped flip-flopping them around, he did not he wasn't able to land on one of them super teams, but he wasn't going to look for that either. Come on, man. Right. Allen Iverson, stayed with his people. You know what I'm saying? Most of his career was Philadelphia, man. Kevin Durant looked at that team and said, "I'll take less money to go play with them."
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, he got brass rings on. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
they rings, but they brass. You know what I'm saying? He turned his finger green a little. You know what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying, and big again. I'm gonna give a shout out to Katie. I mean, these guys, man. I've watched them since they were like really young men, and I see them now and how they matured in a lot of different ways, especially KD. So I'm not gonna be hard on him at all. But when she said him, I mean, it was kind of interesting to me, at least, that. Also on that same OKC Thunder team, you have Russell Westbrook and James Harden, which, and then all respect to Russ and James.
James
They
wasn't that dude though.
They don't have any chips. They've been flopping around to all kinds of teams all over the place. I don't know. I need to confirm this, but I heard, did Russ get sent down to Houston as well? Let me check on that.
He played with Denver this year.
But
I think no, he was in the playoffs with Denver this year. He had, a nice, decent impact, but Denver got shut down. But I do believe that he went to Denver because he thought that they was gonna win. So I think that he was trying to get him a ring. But I think Russ took $150 million and went overseas. From what I heard. So I think
NBA
is done. Yeah, I think he done in the NBA, but he definitely played with Denver in the playoffs this year. I couldn't even tell you if he may have played with Houston. He done been to a lot of teams. Yeah, Westbrook. So
he was at Houston, but I was wondering if I heard a rumor, and I didn't confirm it, that he had been sent. He was getting sent back to Houston to play with KD, but I was like, that don't sound right. But okay, just clearing that up. But
I mean, as far as I heard, I think my son had told me that he took $150 million to go overseas somewhere.
Oh, wow.
What? I did the same thing too.
He would have done the same thing.
His years of getting that in the NBA is over. You know what I'm saying? So I would have went and got that last and final check.
So Russ, James, KD, if you were to say one of them had the top messiest career out of those three, who would
KD?
It's gotta be KD. Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, at least James Harden kind of stayed with Houston for a while. Like when he go into the Hall of Fame, it's gonna be as a Rocket. You know what I'm saying? He had his best days with the Houston Rockets.
Right.
So and he tried to stay put for a while, but I don't know if he got traded away from Houston or something, but he was with Houston a while, you know what I'm saying? And then he ain't really, let me see. He went to Brooklyn, he played with Philadelphia for a couple years. Where else James Harden went?
He went, Philadelphia, Brooklyn.
The Clippers.
Oh, the Clippers. Yeah, that's Clippers. Yeah, so
and Slick had a super team on paper, you know what I'm saying? Like
that's right.
Maybe 6 or 7 years ago, that team right there could have got it done, but the old superstars ain't gonna never work because
bro, I'm gonna go with Russell Westbrook, respectfully, because again, those guys, they play ball. They're professional athletes, and I give them credit for being able to make it to that level of the game, period, point blank. But if you were going to ask me that question, I would say Westbrook, because in my opinion, KD was needed to make sure Bron doesn't have the legacy that he could have had if he had not joined up with the Warriors. That's just my opinion. And I think some people would also agree. He made sure that those chips were, during those 2 years, were going to still come to the Golden State Warriors and not to the Cavaliers. So
he definitely added, and I'm not saying, he definitely added to Golden State. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but I don't know. I think Golden State would have won them without it. You know what I'm saying? Steph was that dude. Steph
Yeah.
was
Now
that
Russell's career has
dude.
just been kind of all over the place, and I don't, it's been kind of, other than those legendary MVP years that he had here at OKC,
Averaging triple doubles.
yeah,
Like he averaged a triple double for like what 3-4 years maybe straight.
that's what 3 years. Yeah. So outside of that, it's just been, I don't know. He's just been kind of around for me, and yeah,
but he ain't been chasing. He ain't been trying. He didn't go team up with LeBron.
That's right.
He ain't been trying. The only clout chasing that I seen was probably this year when he ended up with Denver. Because on paper, we know Denver can get up through there. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't just proved it. A couple years ago. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I think this last year he was trying to chase one with Denver. You know what I'm saying? He just chose the wrong team. He'd have went back to OKC. He'll be sitting on top.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
He got it. Yeah.
Okay. All right, let me run one last thing, man, and that's what's up on KD again. I like how, man, to see his development over a year. But this was another clip I meant to pull up, and this was from the parade as well. This is one of the Thunder's newest additions, Isaiah Hartenstein. He used to play with the New York Knicks. And this was a clip that went viral and has gone viral through the city and on the internet as well from the parade. So I'm gonna run this one so you can see. This was a pretty cool moment from that parade. Let's see here.
Champions. Hey, we gon' bow, never fall. The champions.
Ooh, I had to remove that sound. I think we might be good on that. Now I took the sound off though, but
you said what? The sound's not good?
Yeah, I took it off.
Oh, okay.
I think you probably had like a 7-second window or something like that.
Oh, okay, man. Yeah, little dude was he was charged up, man. And he got so charged up and he was crying all emotional. And this, this is the thing I really like about how, these are kind of idols. These are not idols, but these are just kind of like they're young people, want to be these people. They want to be professional players,
that's something that they're gonna remember. The little boy gonna remember that for the rest of his life. He's gonna be 70 years old and still remember that moment right there.
That moment there, yeah. And I think, Isaiah's gonna remember this as well. But this was how they capped it off for him at the local media news media station here. So
the weather girl just a minute ago? Okay, I think there's been a delivery from the Thunder this morning from...
There has been.
Lacey has
Archie.
Oh
okay, this is for you, buddy. Here, take oh my goodness. Robin, give him a hug. You give him a hug.
Gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Now listen, you got to see what's in the bag before you start crying, okay? Let's see. You want to open it up? It's like Christmas morning for you, buddy. Here we go. We knew that you would love this. And look what we got.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna go.
Archie,
look at it.
We got you the jersey from Isaiah Hartenstein, number 55. Oh, come on now. You're going to make us all cry. What do you think about that?
I love it.
You love it? What are you going to do with it?
I'm going to put it in a frame and hang it up.
Yeah, man. That was a special moment for him, man. So, yeah, that's kind of one thing that I've noticed about the city and even the state in a lot of places. And I'm not in every single corner of this state, but definitely the city, metro. One cool thing that I've noticed, because the stadiums in Oklahoma City, Indiana, Salt Lake, Utah Jazz, they're going to look different than the stadiums you'll find in Atlanta, Los Angeles. And I'll just call it what it is. You're just going to see a different racial mix. You're going to see predominantly white fan base in those stadiums. And then again, the smaller markets that I just mentioned. And then the bigger cities, you're going to see, more of a mixed or predominantly, maybe in Atlanta's case, predominantly Black, fan base. And but I will say this about living in Oklahoma, because sometimes there's a perception that we are a segregated city or segregated state. And I will say this, there are probably racist people here, which would be anywhere, right? But I don't get a sense of Oklahoma City being a racist city or the state of Oklahoma being a racist place. People do not, I don't, I've talked to a lot of people from a lot of different backgrounds here, and there's just going to be a certain level of respect, humanity, kindness, just that you'll find here that you don't find any other place. I'll give you one example. I was at a department store about 2 years ago, and I walked out of the department store, and I was headed to my car, getting ready to jump in the car. And as I was, had my windows up, getting ready to turn on the ignition, there was a knock at my window. And I looked over, and it was this guy, kind of had this, it was cold, so he had this big old bomber jacket on, and he was knocking on my window. And, I'm from the A, and, somebody pull up on you, kind of puts you on alert, So he kind of motioned like he wanted me to roll my window down. And so, it was almost dark. I was kind of not feeling the situation. I didn't know what, because I'm kind of mean mugging him a little bit. And so I was like, "What, man? What what you want, man?" So I rolled my window down. He was like, "What's your name, bud?" I was like, "What's my name?" He's like, "Yeah, what's your name?" So I kind of entertained him, although I didn't want to, but I was like, "It's Quincy." And he said, "What's your last name?" I gave him my last name. He was like, "Oh, I was just checking because I wanted to make sure I got this to the rightful owner." So he reached in his bomber jacket and he pulled out my wallet. I had dropped my wallet full of cash, a lot of credit cards, whole nine, white guy. And I was just tripping to buy that because, again, living in cities like Atlanta and different places I've been, Los Angeles, whatever, big major cities, you're not about to see that wallet come back to you. I've even heard people will find somebody's wallet like that and they'll call it a whole out blessing.
Straight up.
Yeah, that's a blessing. Thank you, Lord. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Lord, no, I needed it. Yeah,
right. I needed $1,000.
Yeah. So I was,
it's crazy.
Tripping. Yeah, that it
was a white man, but it's sad to say that if it been a brother, you know what I'm saying, I'd have walked up, I'd have seen $1,000. Oh boy, look.
Yeah,
I probably would have, back in my day, I would have took the 1,000, but I would have been nice enough to mail you your wallet because I know you need your stuff. And that being straight up, that's being straight up. Hey, that is being straight up and down, son. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I said all that to say, man, there's some good people here, man, of all races, sure. Man, and it's a very good place to be, and that's just another sign of kind of how these connections are being built here, man, and there's just not that division that you might find in other places. So I love this. I love this city. I love the state.
Oklahoma is one of the places that if I come into a lot of money, come out there and I'm getting about 200 acres.
Yes, sir. Yeah. All right. On that note, comment, share, subscribe. Talk to your famous cousins, whoever those cousins might be. Tell them they need to tap in, man. Join the podcast, man. Jump on live.
Man. Hey, listen, we
get our numbers up.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, man, we had a couple of, you know what I'm saying? Dang, I hate you missed the one from last week. That was a good one.
That was a good one. Yeah.
That was a good one. We had We had Victor Hill on here. And we had a personal friend of mine, Damian Butler. It was a good one. Yeah, it was a good one for sure.
I see Victor Hill's videos do numbers, boy. He's got is he got some people really checking for him? Because it seems like everyone.
I mean, he a politician, so you know, and a lot of people here like him. You know, if I could vote for him, he probably would be the only Democrat that I vote for. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, you know, because I know what he's standing for. You know, I didn't vote for him. I think I got a chance. I know for sure I got a chance to vote for him once, but I think I got it. I voted for him 2 times. I got my right to vote back in 2015 or 16 or something like that. And I know every time the polls came when I was living in Clayton County, I did vote for him. So
that's what's up. Okay. Yeah. That's good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. He's straight up and down. So we trying to get him across the finish line. 5th congressional district, which covers some parts of Fulton, some parts of DeKalb, and I think all of Clayton.
That's what's up.
Oh yeah.
Okay, all right.
On to Washington, man. So we're gonna see what's
money
going on.
In politics, man. Let me find out you running for office or something, man.
I'm watching them closely, and I consider him a mentor when it comes to that. If I see something, and by 2 or 3 years, I might be running too. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
Because you know, like he say a lot more convicted felons. You know what I'm saying? And hey, look at Donald Trump. That man got more felony convictions than all us put together. If he was
fascinating, yeah, for sure. And we don't really, you don't hear him. We don't hear that talk about it anymore as much.
I don't even hear it. It shouldn't even matter. It shouldn't even matter.
And that's what there's a lesson to be learned from this, and I hope that it keeps carrying on, man. That you can't just keep judging people and continue to condemn people based on the record. You got to judge every book by its own cover, in my humble opinion. So, and again, yeah, man.
I don't want to misquote, but they said the average American breaks the law 3 times a day. It might be a felony somewhere up in there and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just the difference between those people and us is, hey, we wasn't smart enough to get away. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I just, you know, at the time of holding people back because of something that happened 10, 15, 20 years ago, them days need to be over with. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Yeah, they need to be over with. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, for sure, man. Hey, man, always a pleasure, G. Always a pleasure, my brother.
Sure, man. Appreciate y'all tapping in.
Thank you for tuning into XconMedia. Go right ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hurry up!